Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 27th day of January. Can you believe we're almost done with January? We just finished celebrating like Christmas and stuff like just the other day. It's already over a month away. But today is National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. And I got to tell you, I do appreciate some bubble wrap.
I used to. It doesn't pop anymore.
It doesn't?
Nope.
What happened to that?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys
The
need
world is in chaos.
You need to appreciate bubble wrap, people. I have no idea why it doesn't pop, but apparently...
Yeah, they made it so you can't pop it anymore.
They probably did that so you'd quit ruining it. So, like, you could reuse this if you'd quit popping it. National Chocolate Cake Day today as well. I do like that. I think it's mean that they put that in January, but they also put it at the end of January when most people are done with their resolution
they've pretty
anyway.
much already given up.
Yeah. Kristine DeBell is our guest today for a Movie Star Monday. She was in Meatballs back when I was just a kid. She's in that movie with Bill Murray. She's also in The Young and Restless and many other things. We're going to be chatting with Kristine DeBell coming up for this Movie Star Monday.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I'm a little confused, Heidi.
Okay.
A new study found that secondhand screen time can be just as addictive to kids as secondhand smoke. Wait a minute, what?
Secondhand screen time.
So I think that means like if you're on your phone and your kid watches you on your phone all the time, like that makes them want to be on their phone all the time? Is that what that means?
I suppose.
I don't know. I don't understand. But I do, yeah. I think that screen time can be quite addictive for many. I didn't realize I had a problem till my wife over here pointed it out 93 times yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, put your phone down. I'm like, what's that? Put your phone down. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dinner table with friends and...
Well, I was just...
It's like, put it down. There's people here.
Just doing a little status update. Just having dinner with friends. To which the rest of the world said, I don't care. All right. This has been Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A Florida man who claims to be a professional mixed martial artist fighter, like an MMA fighter, was arrested for a DUI despite offering free classes for a month if they let him go. Yeah, that didn't quite work. 34-year-old Kalen Holcomb was driving a white pickup truck last Monday, I believe is when this was. They said he was attempting to back into a parking spot and almost backed into a building instead. That's not good. Upon making contact, they observed him stumbling. He smelled of booze, had bloodshot eyes. They asked him to do a field sobriety test, but he refused and instead offered to teach them karate. It's like, oh, I'll give you guys MMA classes. I guess that's different than karate, because I do it for free. Just let me go. Do it for a month. Anyway, they said, no, but you know what? We'll take you to a cell where you can teach a lot of people a lot of stuff. He got himself in a bit of trouble. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. This story at TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Netflix is changing their definition of what constitutes a view. Because, you know, they want to be able to say, this many people watch this.
Right.
So before it was like, okay, how much of this movie do I have to watch before you say I watched it?
So what is it?
A view in the ratings now considered 2 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's an acceptable amount of time to say that you watch this. They used to consider a view.
Oh, my gosh.
They used to consider a view 4 minutes, which is the YouTube model.
Even 4 minutes
Yeah,
is...
but they're... switching now to 2 minutes. They're like, well, you watched the movie. Yeah, but 2 minutes in, I don't know what the movie's about. I just know, this ain't. I've watched a movie for 10 minutes and said, I'm not watching the rest of this. And
I've never turned off movie.
I just recently have started because I used to always watch them to the end, and Heidi would be like, why are you even watching this? I'm like, oh, it's going to get better. Then I've learned, no, it doesn't. No, not even a little bit better. So there you go. This is from Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A photographer in Birmingham, England, captured a cloud image that he thinks looks like Jesus.
Oh.
So, and when you look at clouds, it's kinda,
everybody can see things.
Yeah, but I can see what he's talking about here. There's an image of that. It's in the show notes for today. Not the image, a link to the image. Chinese theme park is under fire for making a pig jump off a 100-foot bungee platform as part of a stunt show. What? What is going on there? So that happened in China. A survey by mattress firm found the average American is only sleeping 5.5 hours per night. So
yeah, I'm not even sleeping that much.
I was going to say, I think I'm actually getting less than that most nights. So I have to work my way up to that. Princess Cruise Line set sail on a 111-day cruise that left New York on Monday. The trip had a starting price of $22,000 per person. I don't think I would want to do that.
Well, I know I wouldn't want to do that. But 111 days.
111 days for $22,000.
I mean, really?
It's probably a bargain when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the price tag isn't bad because all your meals are included. Everything is included.
And think about this. After, the first week, whatever they're making for food, you'd be like, I really don't even care. So I think it's like these guys are crazy like a fox. 111 days. They're going to eat a lot of food the first 11 days.
And then they won't eat anything at all.
The next 3 months, pretty much not going to eat much. A new facial recognition app. This is just creepy. It will allow strangers to find out who you are and, if your info is out there, your address, by snapping a photo of you on the street.
Whoa, that's scary.
The app is called Clearview AI, like artificial intelligence, Clearview AI.
That
because
is terrifying.
The name Creepy Stalker app was probably just a little too much, but that's what it should be called. What is the purpose of this?
That is terrifying. Somebody
could snap your photo and then know who you are with this app and then know maybe even where you live. I think that, whoever came up with that idea maybe should seek counseling. A goat was born with a human face. We're gonna come back to that. It's in an Indian village in India, and they're worshiping this goat as a god. Now, I clicked on the story to see because I was like, "Wow, what kind of a human face? What? No, not really." So instead of having a big, long goat nose, it's just a snubbier nose, and they're saying, "Oh, it looks like a human." I'm like, have you ever seen a human? you ever really looked at like a human and what humans look like, what their faces look like? Yeah, and it has 3 ears.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's. I feel bad for the poor goat, a famous goat now because of what's going on here. But
he's getting treated real well.
Oh yeah, treated like a god. So there you go. I guess he's got that going for him, which is nice. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Kristine DeBell. Kristine, I watched a movie when I was a kid and you were in it, and you were a kid. It was called Meatballs. I loved that movie. It was such a fun movie. Was that a fun movie to be a part of?
Yes, it was.
And-
yeah, we all had the best time on that film.
And there were just so many fun people in that movie. And that was, it just seems like forever ago. As I look, it's 1979. Does it feel like it was that long ago, or do you remember it like it was yesterday?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, some things you just remember like it was yesterday. And I do feel like a lot of the memories that I have, I'll have forever. It was everyone was terrific. And it was just an interesting, it was one of my first experiences to travel out of town. We went to Canada, and there were a few of us the rest of the cast was Canadian, but it was a blast.
Now, that wasn't the first project you had a chance to work on. You've done a bunch of other things. I'm looking here, and I see you're on BJ and the Bear. I remember that as a kid as well, and 8 is Enough, and several other things. But was that kind of the first big movie that you were a part of?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
And you've had a chance to be on a ton of different television shows. Do you prefer the big screen, or do you prefer doing like a TV program, or do you not really have a preference?
I don't think I have a preference. It's all just a job, right? But they're just such different mediums. I started on stage in theater in the round, and so to go to a film, it was like, whoa. I'm beginning to understand that, I'm not projecting my voice, the camera's right there, and then TV's totally different too. 3 camera shots, 3 cameras sometimes on a soap.
And that's the thing. You've had a chance to be a part of some really cool programs like The Young and the Restless, and I know there are super fans for programs like that. When you were on that program, did you watch it before you were on there, or was that not something that you typically watched? Was the daytime dramas?
No, I didn't. I know. The one that I did watch when I was in high school was Dark Shadows, because I'm a total vampire.
Oh.
Nuts. So I do remember watching Dark Shadows, but I didn't watch soap operas. So what happened was, after I did it and moved away, I went back east. I went home to raise my kids. I started tuning it in to see what my friends were doing, and I got hooked like everyone else.
It's probably a good thing you didn't watch it before you were on it, because I think that would be really hard, to kind of just be sucked into this program, and then now you're a character, and I think that would just almost be surreal to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I'm sure it would have been really weird. It's like, wait, what? I'm in my favorite show?
Well, in one of my favorite shows growing up, you get to be in Night Court, and that was such a funny program. What was it like working with Harry and all the people on that team?
Yeah, it was awesome. Harry Anderson was, to get to play his girlfriend. It was the first time that I'd done a show where we taped live on Friday night.
Oh, wow.
And so we rehearsed all week, rehearsed the show on Friday, and we went to live tape, and I'm eating dinner, and they said, we don't like the opening. We're going to, here's the new scene for the opening, which was going to be in half an hour. And I'm like, oh my. So yeah, my memorization skills came in from the soap, came in very well. But no, he was great. John Larroquette, everybody on the set. And the scene with the 2 ladies, I can't forget their names, so they're saying man, male, female, I don't know. They're hilarious.
The whole cast, everybody on that cast was cast perfectly, and it was just such a fun show to watch.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah.
Again, our guest today is Kristine DeBell, and again, you're still doing some acting. As I'm looking on here, you've got a film that's even coming out this year in 2020. So tell me a little bit about Merrily, the movie that you were recently working on here.
Merrily is a friend of mine that I met out here that does these sort of ethereal, interesting. We've been shooting it over time because he's he's like, okay, we're going to work on this scene, and then 3 months later, because he's doing other things, I guess. But so, yeah, it'll be interesting. Who's in it is, oh my gosh, can you believe I don't have my own credit? I don't know my own credits. Or who's in it? I don't know, but it's fun to do. But I've been doing some lifetime stuff, that kind of.
Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on.
And we'll have to chat again when you have additional projects come out. Let's talk again.
Okay.
Again, Kristine DeBell has been our guest, and I've got a link to her information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Want to make your sweetheart smile next month for Valentine's Day? Find some fun, matching shirts at funkymonkeyshirts.com. We have a whole collection of fun shirts for you lovebirds.
My wife rocks.
My man rocks.
We also have many silly shirts that will make you smile any day of the year.
My ex-wife was a trophy wife.
Participation trophy.
Find something fun for a loved one, friend, or for yourself at funkymonkeyshirts.com. That's funkymonkeyshirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The healthiest place in the world is Panama. A small valley near Vulcan in Panama has garnered the distinction of being the world's healthiest place to live. Says here, the place is home to a beautiful scenery, a low cost of living, and a significantly longer life expectancy than other areas. All the healthiest areas have some common factors, though. According to this, they say a warmer climate is one of the factors that they always find in the healthiest places. An active social scene, healthy food, and a slower pace of life that makes it less stressful. So I think I could check every one of those and say I'm doing the exact opposite. So that's
Yeah.
not good. That is not good. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, news headlines from somewhere in this world. Dateline France. Designer, I don't even know if you'll know who this is. I didn't know who it was, but French designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, Gaultier. Would you say that, Gaultier? Would you not even pronounce the T?
I wouldn't even try.
The R? I have no idea. This French designer shocked the fashion world by announcing that he's retiring after 50 years in the business. Can you imagine how different fashions have been in 50 years?
Yeah, I'm sure he's seen a lot.
Yeah, or seen just a little. Like, here's your outfit.
Well,
that's not nearly
and
enough
seeing
fabric.
where the fashions are heading, he's probably like,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna.
So I don't know how old Jean-Paul is, but if he's been in the fashion world for 50 years, probably not real young. So congratulations, I guess, on retiring. And somehow that made news headlines from somewhere in this world.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Have you ever heard the phrase, they're going to throw the book at them? Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of what this story's about. Florida woman facing assault charges after throwing a Bible at her boyfriend's head.
Oh, wow.
He had to duck to avoid being hit with the holy book, according to police. During an argument, Terry Slaughter picked up a Bible and threw it across the room at the victim, almost striking him in the head.
Maybe she should have read it instead.
It says was in fear of being hit in the head with the Bible and had to duck to avoid being hit. She denies throwing the Bible, claiming the victim was, quote, making this up to get her in trouble. Charged with assault and criminal mischief, both misdemeanors, Slaughter was booked into the county jail, released on her own recognizance. She was ordered by a judge to have no contact with the victim. However, she returned to her residence and confronted the victim. During the ensuing argument, she then scratched the victim's neck, causing visible injury.
Lady.
And she was rearrested.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't scratch him in the neck. He just said that to get me in trouble. She didn't really do that. But, not a good plan. That is today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. According to police, a parent who was upset by a referee's call during a middle school basketball game, a girls' middle school basketball game, went out onto the court and headbutted an official. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not a good plan. It says here,
Was it the mother or the father?
Well, let's read the story. I'm not exactly sure. The suspect is a parent of a player. Police say the referee reportedly was headbutted, said parents in the stands were upset because of calls made during the game. The referee, Doug Thompson, tells this news magazine, whoever it was, that it escalated during the second half. He says this parent was shouting obscenities at him during a timeout and also flashed one of this person's fingers. I bet you know which one. And it was after them that he accuses the parent of headbutting him, causing minor injuries. They used no pronouns, so I have no idea if it was the mother or the father. I have no idea.
It would be awesome if it was the mother.
Well,
I'd like to see a video of that.
I don't think it would be. Just for the record, that wouldn't be awesome, so please don't do that. That is today's moment of duh.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? It's during this portion of the program, I read a little story here to my beautiful bride, Heidi, and she has to tell us, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it made up just to trick her and to maybe amuse me and others? You ready, Heidi?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? Fort Myers, Florida woman married a tree so she could keep the tree from being cut down. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Yeah, it is a true story. We read that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I don't know whatever happened there. If that
But there have been
worked.
many people have married trees, which is so,
I don't know that there's
in my
been
opinion,
many.
bizarre.
Yeah, to each their own. I mean, they're looking at you going, well, you married John. So.
Touche.
John, spruce tree. I don't know. This tree's a lot thinner. Maybe you got something going there.
Tree doesn't
Much
talk
taller.
back.
Yeah, there's a lot. See, now I'm thinking of benefits here. This has been Fake News or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I love these stories, and there's been several of these over the last couple of years. Here's the headline. St. Louis Church erases nearly $13 million in medical debt for families in the community.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Over 11,000 St. Louis families, or in that area at least, will learn this week that their medical debt has been paid off thanks to donations from local churches. United Church of Christ congregations and the Deaconess Foundation announced that they had purchased $12.9 million in medical debt for a fraction of the cost. They worked with the New York-based nonprofit RIP Medical Debt, which used the donations to purchase debt from collectors. It says, please note that we only address those who are living at or below poverty, people who should not have to worry about the cost of health care anyway, according to the Reverend. It says, we hope this will be a shot of hope in our region, a shot of hope into our neighborhoods, and we hope that will challenge and spur other denominations and other churches to do the same.
That's fantastic.
I agree. That would be really cool. 14 congregations raised about $60,000, and then the Deaconess Foundation matched with $40,000, so they put $100,000 in to wipe out almost $13 million in debt.
So now if that's a possibility, why can't the individual do that for themselves?
I think sometimes they can, where you can like make an arrangement to, pay it off.
fraction
But if
of
you
it.
don't have the money to pay it off, you still can't do it. So if you're like, if you pay us this much, you're like, that's great. I don't have that much either, though, so I still can't do it. But I think it's a really cool story. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today. And if you want to figure out how to do that for your congregation, how cool would that be?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, that is just awesome. Here, this one, making national news.
Yeah.
So think about how that would be able to, what it would do in your community, what it would do for your congregation. I just think, boy, that is such a cool thing. Again, I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.